WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. This is now the fourth whiskey from Filey, the spirit of Yorkshire Distillery. So I've done, this is Moscatel. I've already done the STR. This was the flagship. This was okay. This was the second release. And this was the STR, which I'm going to compare it to. All right. Now, so far the STR were 1, the flagship was number 2, and the second release was way in the back, which was too young for my taste buds, to be honest. Now, Moscatel, what is that? First of all, Moscatel is a sherry varietal. It's a type of sherry. Now, we have basically 3 different types of grapes that are allowed to be used to make sherry. The first one is Palomino. Palomino is basically about 98% of the entire area of that is allowed to, that grows grapes for sherry in the Jerez triangle. 1% is Pedro Jimenez, PX, and 1% is Moscatel. Bingo. So this is fairly seldom. This is rare. This is exotic. This is unique. Now, I do know that there is from Furcullen. Furcullen is an Irish distillery. Noel Sweeney now is the head or master distiller. He actually took a Moscatel cask and finished an 18-year-old single malt Irish whiskey at cask strength in that and gave it to Mareike Spitzer here in Germany. She's the owner of www irish-whiskies.de, DE for Deutschland, Germany. And that was her especially Germany-only cask. It was beautiful. It was very nice. And this is also very nice. So this takes a normal spirit and brings it up to this level, which is great. All right, so this is Whiskybase 153667. This was produced in 2016. This was produced in 2016. This was bottled 2020. This was bottled 2020. This was 6,000 bottles. I think this was 6,000 bottles as well. I'm not really sure. This is €65.90. This is €65.90. I can highly recommend this. I'm not really sure. This is an okay whiskey, but this is something that blew me away, to be very honest. Tom Miller and David Thompson actually began this company. Tom Miller had his own brewing company, and so there was no problem. They actually, I guess David had his own farm, and he actually, it's from grain to glass, and so they actually grow their own grain. They let it be malted externally. At their own company, at Tom Miller's company, they make the wort, the beer, 8%, put it into the stills, distill it, and then they actually put it in the barrels and then bottle it by hand. So that's actually very nice. And apparently a lot of these bottles were not exclusively sold in England, and so they have made their way about a year later over here to Germany. Schlumberger is our importer, and they put it in the market, and now I have the ability to try these whiskeys without having to deal with all the customs issues and everything that happened after Brexit. Okay, non-chilled filtered, no color added, 46%, very good. How long the finish was, I don't know. If this was the first video you're watching, there's some special information coming. Yeah, that information is that Dr. Jim Swan actually helped this distillery to get its footing. He's responsible for the double yeast that is used, the brewer's yeast as well as the specialized yeast. He's responsible for the STR cask. He's responsible for a lot of the other stuff that is going on there. They actually have an interesting pot still constellation. If you look at this picture here from the back of the box, you have 2 pot stills in between. You have the column still, so half the time of the year you actually have a column still running, which makes the spirit even finer and a little bit more smooth. So very nice. Now this is beautiful. I love the Moscatel sherry. It's not the typical sherry. It's more of a lighter type of orange peel zest that comes through here. It says on the back of the bottle, soft, spicy, warming with notes of honeycomb, orange, marmalade, dried fruits, and also cocoa. Yay. This whiskey is actually my favorite of the 4. I do like the STR. It's got a little bit of wood. It's a little bit more of an astringency moment in there. It's got a little bit of a mineral moment, but this is just perfect almost. It does this. There's a little bit of a moment in the middle that's not perfect, but then at the beginning and the end, and especially at the end, it's just a very, very good sweetness. That honeycomb comes through, that orange zest comes through. Even a little bit of that marmalade is there, yeah? What was it? Dried fruits. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I really need to know more about sherry, and I'm looking forward to my sherry experiment that I'm going to do soon. Non-chilled filtered, no color added. If I had not known, if this was blind, I would have went, oh, 48%. It's only 46. Oh yeah, that beautiful, beautiful moment at the end. So it's like, oh, nice. In the middle, it's like, oh, it's a little mineral. Yeah, okay, it's almost gonna. Nope, nope. Wonderful. Well done, well done. This is a B minus C plus plus whiskey. B minus minus C plus plus. Very, very well done. Value for money, it's a C almost minus. 65 euros is a lot of money. It's a 4-year-old whiskey, people. 4 times divided by 65. You're running about 17 euros per year. That's a lot of money. It's good, but is it really that good? I don't know. I don't think so. But hey, we need to bring that over to Europe. But even in the UK, it's £58, so it's not the price there. It's a new distillery. They're looking for money. They're looking for refinancing their initial investment, and I understand all that. This whiskey was distilled at the beginning by Tom and David themselves, the founders. About a year later, 2017, they finally got their master distiller, Dom. He's come in and he's changed a lot. And so I think basically what he did is he took this and said, hey, we need to save this whiskey, put it in an SDR cask. We need to save this whiskey, put it in a Moscatel cask. And here he saved it very, very well. Here he saved it almost. And his flagship is good. These are first fill bourbon casks. I like much, much better than I do the first or the second release. That were absolutely not my cup of tea. All right, so this is a distillery to watch. This is a distillery to take a look, especially for their special releases. I know they're doing some special stuff. If I could say one thing, I personally, as a geek, would like to know what percentage of whiskey is in here that's gone through the column still and what percentage is not. Is it a 50-50 mix? Is it a 100% not? Is it 100% yes? That information would be good because I think, and I might be right, I might be wrong, in Scotland, this could not be called a single malt. If it's gone through the column. In England, yes, and in Germany, yes, and so on. And so that little bit of information could be helpful for us and me. I like the design, I like the whiskey, some of it at least, especially the special stuff, and I look forward to the good stuff in the future. WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys, one of 6,000 bottles worldwide. Maybe I'll make it to the States, maybe I'll make it to other places in the world soon. At the moment, it's basically just in France, Germany, and in the UK, but we'll see what happens in the future. They're ramping up, I guess, a little bit, but it's still a small distillery making between 90 and 60,000 liters of alcohol per year. So that's basically between 12 and 14 casks a week. I think Buffalo Trace, I think Jim Beam produce 12 to 14 casks an hour, if not a minute. It's amazing the difference in the production capacity. WhiskyJason, please like, subscribe, tell others. What is your favorite, or do you know any whiskeys whatsoever that have a Moscatel sherry finish or a Moscatel sherry a maturation? That would really, really interest me. I'm learning more and more about the different types of sherries, and the Moscatel fascinates me at the moment because everything I've had has been fabulous, amazing, wonderful, great, grandiose, just fantastic. All right, thank you very much. WhiskyJason, thank you. Watch, subscribe, tell others, and all the best to you. Bye-bye.